What did you say when Biden called you and said he wasn't running? Well, I immediately thought of him first. No, you didn't. You know, I mean, fracking. Dana Bash had her dead to rights. I was like, you said this. I have the quote. I'm reading it to you. You said there should be a ban on fracking. Why can't they just go, yeah, you know what? I got it wrong. I was talking to the wrong people. You know, she's had this ridiculously high turnover.
Bill Maher sharply criticized CNN for going out of its way to promote Kamala Harris while relentlessly attacking Donald Trump. He argued that the network's extreme bias and constant effort to spin stories in favor of Democrats played a major role in Harris's political struggles. Maher's critique was particularly forceful, marking one of the strongest attacks he has made on CNN in years. The outspoken host did not hold back, calling out the network's obsession with protecting Democratic figures and highlighting the consequences of that approach.
CNN is the place where both sides can watch. And
I'm talking about the people on CNN. And what I know what the conservative side of America thinks, and I don't blame them. They were just gushing about how great a speech it was. And I think she did fine. I didn't think it was as good as they were making it out.
If you remember, CNN practically swooned every time Kamala managed to deliver even a mildly coherent line. A simple, "we must do better," was suddenly treated as if it were a revolutionary manifesto, analyzed from every possible angle as though she had discovered the key to global peace. The network brought in analysts, professors, and countless pundits to convince viewers that Kamala was the embodiment of political genius, the woman with all the answers. Spoiler, she wasn't. And this is where Maher does the unexpected. He calls them out for their shameless fanfare, exposing it for exactly what it was: desperate, misleading, and downright embarrassing. CNN wasn't reporting news, they were running PR. And Maher, with his trademark sharpness, tore straight through their polished illusion.
It does look like tokenism. It's kind of like the same as The View.
I don't think that you can say that CNN is anything but fair. Everyone who was speaking last night, it's not like they were all Democrats. I mean, Dana Bash, Jake Tapper, Abby Phillip.
They come across
giving
that way.
Analysis.
They come across that way. In a moment like that, it was like 5-1. It always looks like 5-1.
Caitlin Collins, using her most reassuring, nothing to worry about tone, tried to defend CNN by noting that they do cover Republican conventions and occasionally feature GOP guests. Nice try, but Maher wasn't buying it. He didn't deny that conservatives appear, he just pointed out that it's never an even playing field. It's always a stacked deck, with 5 pundits to 1, leaving the lone Republican sitting there like target practice. Then Maher delivered the knockout, comparing CNN's format to The View. Brutal. The network that markets itself as a serious news authority was running panels that looked more like a daytime talk show, where one unlucky conservative gets outnumbered, mocked, and steamrolled by a liberal swarm.
Conservatives do not trust CNN because it is so staunchly anti-Trump. He's not wrong, because they'll put on people like Adam Kinzinger or Anna Navarro, George Conway, and call them Republicans, or pretend that's being balanced by putting them on by saying, oh, see, these conservatives don't even like Trump. Only Scott Jennings over there can be called a conservative. And Maher is right. It's almost always 5-1 on shows they portray as news programs.
Many of us don't trust CNN, and it's not hard to see why. Their version of balance is pure tokenism, tossing in Republicans who either can't mount a serious argument or barely qualify as conservatives at all. These so-called GOP voices aren't there to challenge the liberal panel, they're props, set up so the left can dominate and everyone else can feel smart. That kind of staged performance drives Bill Maher crazy, and it turns off a lot of viewers as well. People aren't naive, they can tell when a network is manipulating the conversation. That's exactly why conservatives, and plenty of independents, tune out and watch something else. CNN isn't offering debate, it's putting on theater.
Do you have the time? Your answer is not, I do. If you, do you have the time?
Right.
Yes, it's 4 o'clock.
Well,
you have to understand that words don't always mean what they mean.
And when Tim Walz said, like, the American people, I talk like they do. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're a huge liar, like all politicians are. I don't care, by the way. I've always said this about politics. They're all going to lie. They're politics. It's what they lie about. I don't give what you did during the Iraq War. You were in the Guard. So I don't understand why they just can't. You're just insulting my intelligence.
Here, Bill Maher didn't hold back at all. He went straight after both Kamala Harris and Tim Walz for the obvious falsehoods they slipped into those carefully managed interviews. Walz, flashing that practiced politician smile, has been caught stretching the truth, or outright making things up, about his role in various political and even military situations, all in a desperate bid to present himself as a seasoned, tough statesman. And Kamala has her own track record of exaggerations. She confidently claimed to have visited the border when she hadn't come anywhere close. Then her team tried spinning another story, suggesting she didn't appear on Joe Rogan's podcast because Rogan supposedly wouldn't have her. Maher wasn't buying any of it. He cut through the PR fog, calling out the blatant dishonesty. In his view, this isn't just politics, it's manufactured credibility, propped up by a media unwilling to challenge a single claim.
You know, I mean, fracking. Dana Bash had her dead to rights. It's like, you said this. I have the quote. I'm reading it to you. You said there should be a ban on fracking. Why can't they just go, yeah, you know what? I got it wrong. I was talking to the wrong people. You know, she's had this ridiculously high turnover. Like 42 of 47 people as vice president are gone. Just blame it on them. You know why these assholes are gone? Gave me the wrong information on fracking.
That's classic Kamala Harris: sidestep the question, shift the blame, and hope the audience isn't paying close attention. It's basically her political trademark. Take fracking, for example. She outright lied about her previous stance, casually rewriting her own history the moment it became inconvenient. Then there was the infamous word salad moment, a masterclass in saying everything and nothing at the same time. When asked what she could do better than Joe Biden, she didn't offer a clear plan or even a coherent thought. Instead, she launched into one of the most bewildering rambles ever aired, a jumble of loose fragments delivered as if they meant something, but they didn't. Maher couldn't resist calling it out because it sums up Kamala perfectly: talk a lot, communicate almost nothing, and let the media package it as brilliance. Increasingly, people are seeing right through the performance.
What the bug up there is about IVF. I mean, I certainly understand abortion. You know, there's a baby growing in the womb. I get it. It's going to be a human. Doesn't bother me, but yes, it is. Again, doesn't bother me that it is.
You're not supposed to mess with that. That's what many people think. You're supposed to let.
Oh, I see.
Great man upstairs.
Oh,
yeah, it goes back to that It goes back to that stem cell debate that George Bush had.
Yes.
Remember? It goes like the Terry Shive. It's just like life, laugh. Right. We support laugh.
Bill Maher is completely wrong on this issue, and there's no debate about it. He openly defends the ending of innocent lives, babies who suffer not because of anything they did, but because of their parents' choices. That moral contradiction is precisely why Maher can never truly lean into conservative territory. The moment he tries, his hypocrisy becomes impossible to ignore. On one hand, he's quick to blast the Catholic Church for failing to protect children, a criticism they've often deserved. On the other, he casually dismisses the lives of the unborn, acting as if those children don't matter. That's not just inconsistent, it's deeply troubling. Maher likes to cast himself as a fearless truth-teller, yet he overlooks the most basic truth: you can't claim to stand for justice while excusing the suffering of innocent lives caused by someone else's decisions.
What explains Donald Trump's appeal to young men? I saw today that the gender gap, I think, is the widest. I mean, it's very predictable. I mean, the women are much more for Kamala, and the men are much more for Trump, generally.
But it's not predictable if you look at past elections where voters under 30, generally men and women, went for Democrats. This is remarkable. I think to explain it...
Wait, you're talking about under 30?
Yeah, the under 30
What's going
gender
on
gap is very different than past elections. In 20...
Bigger?
Much bigger.
Kamala Harris is losing support among young men, the very group that helped propel Democrats in 2020, and the reason isn't exactly a mystery. For years, the Democratic Party has pushed narratives that alienated men, leaving many feeling ignored, belittled, or unwelcome. Rather than changing course, Harris doubled down on that same approach. When it came time to pick a VP, she had a prime opportunity to reconnect with younger voters by choosing a younger man who could energize the base. Instead, she opted for an older, safe choice that did nothing to win back frustrated young men. Meanwhile, Donald Trump took the opposite approach, selecting a younger running mate and signaling that he values the energy and potential of young men. The contrast is stark, and it's a major reason Harris is losing the trust and votes of a demographic Democrats cannot afford to alienate.
So in 2020, young men and young women voted for Joe Biden at roughly the same rate. Over the last 4 years, and now with Kamala Harris, young women are voting for Kamala Harris at that same level, if not more. Kamala Harris has barely moved the needle with young men. They have gone more toward Trump. There's a lot of reasons for that. I think Trump has exploited culture war stuff. He appears on hyper masculine podcasts, and he just seems like a fun bro who's not going to ban your zins,
These people just don't get it. They roll their eyes at podcasts promoting healthy masculinity, treating strong men as if they're some kind of cultural threat. But they're missing the point. Strong men build strong families, strong communities, and strong nations. Weak men, by contrast, breed instability and dependence, and that's exactly the path the left keeps steering us toward. America has already made its stance clear. In both 2016 and 2020, millions supported Donald Trump, a man who openly embodied strength, grit, and resistance to the gradual feminization of our institutions and policies. That wasn't just an election, it was a cultural statement. People were tired of being told masculinity is toxic. They wanted leadership grounded in toughness, certainty, and unapologetic confidence. And whether the elites like it or not, that desire for strength isn't going away anytime soon.
This could actually be, if this is a real issue for Kamala Harris, though, this could be fatal for her campaign. So if Democrats need to win 60% of the youth vote to win the White House. Hillary came up short, Obama did it, Biden did it. Kamala Harris is right now at 55% of the youth vote. If she doesn't get to 60, she could lose the election, and it's because young men, Gen Z men, are breaking the...
Kamala Harris is facing a political crisis if she doesn't address why young men are abandoning her in large numbers. This isn't a small issue, it's a ticking time bomb for her campaign. Once a key Democratic constituency, young men are now skeptical, frustrated, and turning away from her message. The reason is clear. For years, the party has pushed an agenda that undermines men, mocks masculinity, and attempts to feminize nearly everything. If Harris wants any chance of winning them back, the first step is obvious: she must remove the woke influence shaping her platform. That means rejecting the idea that strength, toughness, and traditional masculinity are problems to be solved. Until then, young men will continue to see her as part of a movement stripping them of purpose. And when Election Day arrives, they won't stay silent, they'll express their disapproval at the ballot box. Harris and the Democrats are confronting a harsh reality: their war on masculinity is backfiring. Young men feel alienated, token debates aren't fooling anyone, and hypocrisy runs deep. Bill Maher's critiques only highlight these cracks. Unless Harris abandons the woke agenda and starts respecting strength, her support among young men is gone. Come Election Day, they won't be cheering her, they'll be voting her out.